Now, so it's unfortunate I can't show you my lock screen, but this image is now set whenever I'm logging into my computer. Now, let's go back to Visual Studio and take a look here. Now, when you're in Visual Studio, to be able to look at the code and how they did what it did, you can just go to set lock screen, the example here, look at the page and look at the CS file attached to it. Now you can see the code and how they did what they did, how they set the lock screen image, and commented code that explains exactly how they did it. So now you can easily take these, you can easily copy this file here, just edit it the way you seem fit, and it will work perfectly in your application. Let's take another look at another sample. Let's see, toast notifications. Now, toast notifications appear at the top right hand part of your desktop, informing you about a status change in an application. Let's quickly take a look at it. Now, this is a code sample that shows you how they are going to work in your application, the different formats that they take, and how they appear. Let me just run it to my local machine. Now, here on our toast notifications, we have the scenarios here. So let's just take a look at the first scenario, creating a text only toast. So when I click text toast 1, it will take a little time, but it will show us a toast notifications. So in the meantime, we can take a look at what they are. Now, toast notifications interrupt your users with important actionable events. Toast notifications can be sent by your app when it is running scheduled for a later time, or sent by your cloud's app service through the Windows push notification service. The cloud service can be Windows Azure. Toast notifications are described by an XML schema that binds tile contents to system-defined templates. Toast should be actionable but ignorable. If a user misses a toast notification, an app should consider updating the tile or tile badge with information about the missed toast notification. Now, let me see. Okay. So, toast 1 is a body of text that wraps over 3 lines. So, these are examples of toast notifications. So, it's either actionable, I can click it, or I can cancel it. Now, I can click the different ones for them to display. And there are different scenarios that you can take into consideration when building your application. And all of these have the descriptions and how you would want to implement it. Now, when you come to Visual Studio, all of the scenarios have their XAML the XAML pages and the XAML.cs files, which describe either the input and the output. So if you want to incorporate this into your application, you can just take a look at how it is being done and try and copy or imitate it in your application. Let's take a look at one last one, then we move on with our slides. Now let's see. Settings. Okay, hold on. Oosh. I wanted to take a look at the XAML flyout and menu flyout sample. Let me run this quickly. Now let's run this on our local machine. Now, it says that this scenario demonstrates basic usage of the flyout and menu flyout controls through the flyout property button. Now, the flyouts serve as lightweight secondary user interfaces that represent information or require the user for confirmation of an action. Menu flyouts present the user with a list of options. Both controls respond to light dismiss. As it's tapping outside, the control will dismiss it. So if I click buy here, and see that this menu flew out. It came out and we didn't need to navigate to another page for that. So I'll just confirm my purchase and our output says you bought an item. So if I click options here, I can either choose item 1, item 2, or enable feature X. Now, note that the flyout only presents an option for action confirmation and does not have a close option. Users can close the flyout and cancel the action through the light dismiss. That's clicking any other or tapping any other part of the screen. There are other scenarios that you can look at and implement in your application. So these samples will help you, and I recommend the use of them during your app development. Now, let's move on. So there are, as shown initially, there are a set of hands-on labs, that is, learn step by step as it's being done. So we have hands-on labs for Windows Store applications for absolute beginners with C# and Windows Store application for absolute beginners with JavaScript. So these labs will take you through a step-by-step introduction to the features of Windows 8 by building an app together. So the steps will tell you move here, do this, do that, move this file here. And as you do so, you become familiarized with the whole environment and how to build a similar app. So by the end of these labs, you would have had to build the Contoso cookbook app, and on your own time with all the features that they demonstrated. And you can, on your own time, build a similar application employing all of these features. That could be your very first Windows app. Now, the link for the hands-on labs is provided down here. So if you click on it, it will quickly navigate to your web browser and show you how you can find the files with the system requirements and the instructions that you need. Now, there are a set of applications that implement the Windows 8 user experience in a very nice way. An example is the Cocktail Flow application. Now, I think I downloaded the application to show you guys. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, there it is. And this is Cocktail Flow. Now, it has the cocktails. The animation is very nice. It's simple and the user interface is clean. So if I click after 5, it gives me after 5 the ingredients, the preparation, etc. So when I go to my cabinet, I have my bar stock, my cocktails, then my favorite cocktails, even though I haven't added anything here. So Cocktail Flow is a very good example of a Windows 8 application that makes good use of animations and has a very simple and clean user interface. Another application is USA Today. I already downloaded the application, so let me just USA Today. Okay. Now I already had it open, and here you can see LeBron James is still MVP. Yes. Let's go back. Now this is the main page of the USA Today. So now I just click on the news and it takes me there. Click on Obama here, and I have the news information available. I just scroll to see more. So as it's said in the slide, it is simple and it does exactly what it needs to do. It also provides my location here. The first time I opened the application, I had to provide my location, so it shows the temperature too. Nice addition there. Let's go back. So you can also take a look at these applications available in the Windows Store. You just need to go to the store and type in their names and they'll be available to you. Now we have design case studies. If you want to either move your website to a Windows Store app, move an iOS application to a Windows Store app, or have a version of your line of business application as a Windows Store application. So these are all links that navigate to the various pages, and the information available on those pages would help you do this. So if you're a web developer or an iOS developer or a developer or a business developer who has a line of business application that you would like to have a Windows Store version of, you can look through these design guidelines to help you through. So you can easily migrate your website, your iPad, or build a line of business application. Let's move on. Now, these are some of our design inspiration. These are applications that we show to people and say these make very good use of our design guidelines. Let's take a look at this shopping app. I think I like this shopping app because it's cool. Now, the sample code available for a shopping app. So these show you scenarios of a shopping application, then shows you a shopping application. If you want to build an application that displays content on either your website, etc., and it involves clothing, you shouldn't shy away from the design. Make it look good as possible, because as clothing makes people look good, your app should complement the clothing so that people would be attracted to buy from using your application. So as you can see, these are design guidelines that would help you build a very good application. So here we have travel applications. All of these navigate you to the site that would show you how to go about this, how to realize your dream application. Now we also have our design guidance, your app focus, the user scenarios, the app features, making money with your application, the user interface design, etc. And these are also available online, where first you decide what your app is great at, you decide what other user activities to support, decide what features to include. These advise you on the kind of things that you would want to have in your application in order to engage users, how to monetize the app, how to design the user experience for your app, making a good impression, making a prototype, and validating your design. Now in the left portion here, we have all the other things I've shown you: the UX guidelines, the category ideas, line of business application, your enterprise administration application, your financial applications, etc. And these have examples that you can take a look at when you're designing yours. We also have a design handbook that show you how to go about understanding live tiles, choosing a live tile that would complement your application, that would make good use of the content you're providing. Designing a splash page, that is the screen people see when your app is loading all of its features. Designing the hub page, key Windows 8 terminologies, etc. And this design handbook is available at the site provided down here. So when I provide the resources to this lesson, you can simply go to the site and take a good look at it. Now, we also have the third-party control suite that can help you add some more functionality to your application. For open source, we have Callisto, we have the WinRT XAML toolkit, we have the Oxyplot charting controls, etc. Then there are components that you can buy if you need them, like Syncfusion, Telerik, Infragistics, etc. Now, this is an info kit. This is our last slide, and it's an info kit on all the tools that you would need and the tools that I have talked about, so that you can easily access them. These have been compiled for use for students, developers, etc. So you can just have everything you need in one place. So in this lesson, we've talked about the roadmap and discussed into detail some of the features of the roadmap that we are going to be taking a look at. We took a look at the 200 app samples. We took a look at the hands-on labs. Then we went on to talk about the design guidelines, sample applications for every category, how to move your website to a Windows Store app, how to move your iOS application to a Windows Store app. Then we talked about third-party control suites that you can use in your application. Now, I hope this has gotten you more fired up and ready to dive into Windows 8 application development. Thank you for your time today, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.